What do you have zero sympathy for? People who litter. One that really boils my blood is whenever it's a nice sunny day, we don't go to our local beaches. Hell, none of the locals do in the holidays, because they're packed with literal busloads of tourists coming in from the cities, bringing their entire extended families to cause chaos and havoc everywhere. And the litter they leave is insane. It's worse than some of the festivals I've been to. The other unforgivable one is littering up in the fells and mountains. That shit is going nowhere. You managed to walk the full container up to the top, you can damn sure walk it back empty. Damn digens. Pisses me off. A special kind of a hole travels or hikes to a gorgeous or untouched spot in nature and has the audacity to litter. Why are you even here? Go back to your city. People that go to foreign countries with strict and unreasonable consequences for minor infractions that expect their home country to bail them out when they try to steal something/commit a crime, in the eyes of the country they are in. I feel bad for their families for having such a stupid relative. A friend of a friend does this. She has a foolproof method of bringing drugs into Bali, Thailand, etc. Circle have made it clear. While we don't have issues with drugs, we won't feel bad for her if she gets caught. People who make fun of other people starting new things. Makes people leave hobbies that could have been their favorite thing to in their spare time. Made me lose interest in speed cubing, because that community can be pretty toxic to new people. You see this often in gaming communities as well. Extremely annoying. And then some of these same people will wonder why their community has shrunk or isn't being financially supported. Gee, could it be because you chased everyone off with your elitism? People who get towed when they leave their car running in the fire lane in front of supermarkets. We had a lady come back in and scream bloody murder at my co-worker because she got her a ticket because the 2 to 3 minutes Kristin spent helping her was long enough for the cops who always were in our lot to notice her car parked in the fire lane. It was amazing when she came back a few days later with a card and a sincere apology admitting how childish she had been and it was actually her own fault. People who act like the victim with everything. After dating one for a while it finally hits you how cancerous it is. It weighed on my mental health and I almost went to a psyche ward. Her ghosting me was the best thing to ever happen to me last year. My ex didn't necessarily play victim, but she always had this chip on her shoulder. There was this big victimization thing going on at her dorm, and after hearing multiple sides I still don't know what to believe. It does weigh you down, man. People who throw their trash away, next to the trash bin. People who sit in their cars at McDonald's eating their food then drop the rubbish and packaging out their window. You have to drive past a bin to leave the car park, you fool. People who yell or snap at bartenders and then have to wait longer to get their drink. Guests who sit down and aren't served within 30 seconds even though I acknowledged them while helping another guest. Hello? Can I get some service here? Needing to listen to music badly enough that you play your phone speaker on public transportation. I become irrationally angry when people do this while hiking. You're in nature, enjoyed the nature sounds. I don't want to listen to dubstep in the woods, you selfish jerk. Edit, okay, I've lived in high bear populations, and I totally sang I will survive out loud to make noise while walking alone. Most hikers know that chatter will scare away the animals, that's why you do it. So will your music. It's something rude to play your speaker on a high moderately trafficked trail. Be prepared for my shitty comment as you pass me. People who treat everybody like garbage then complain about being lonely. Like, I'm not getting paid to be here. If you act like a jerk, I'm leaving. Had a friend exactly like this. After years of abuse, our entire social group left him. I have a friend on Facebook whose posts alternate between her opinions on long-term relationships and commitments being stupid because she wants to live in the moment and not held back and anchored down by some man, and posts crying about being single. Gee, I wonder why. Not flushing your poop. I'm a janitor. Not flushing your poop is disgusting, but understandable if the flush isn't working, if the eco-flush is too small, if you're extremely germaphobic, etc. But poop/pee fetishists, please find somewhere other than my clinic waiting room toilets to film your fetish videos for Pornhub. Every day, someone does something like take a poop in the bin, pee up the wall to the ceiling, pee or poop all over the toilet, fill that oil it with period pads and pad wrappers, pee in the sink, find crevices to shove poop and pee. I'm not even joking, and half the time I suspect it's staff. But when you talk to the manager, she's best friends with everyone, so I really don't think so and so would have done that. And one of the office staff who never leave their side of the building still wants to call me lazy for finding microscopic amounts of dust under her desk. Like, don't tell me to drag the Hoover in here for one piece of hole punched paper because I have 3 different backed up toilets to sort out. People who won't stop having kids even though all you hear from them is griping about how they have no money or a life of their own, or they're tired all the time, or they say stuff like, but this is so hard. Don't act surprised that that kind of stuff happens once you start having kids. It's some of the most common frigging knowledge in the world. And don't start palming off your younger kids on your older ones all the time, either. You wanted a baseball team, you gotta coach 'em all. This is not about parents whose older children want to help or have some responsibilities like helping their siblings with tying shoes and what all. This is about parents whose older kids don't get to be kids because they are too busy raising their siblings. Nothing ticks me off more. Your older kids aren't your damn co-parents. Let them have the same quality childhood as their other siblings and raise them all your damn self. I have zero sympathy for a parent that never says no to their child. Agree, but I have endless sympathy for the poor teachers that have to teach them. This isn't high up enough. Even worse are the parents who never say no, never put in the effort to teach their children life skills, and then complain when their teenager is a lazy couch potato with no ambition and no readiness for the adult world. When I see someone driving like a total knobhead, cutting everyone off, causing near crashes all down the road, and then I pass them later on pulled over by a cop. This actually happened to me once, perhaps one of the most gratifying moments I've ever witnessed. It was like 3 a.m., I was coming home from working in a different part of the state. I passed a sitting state trooper, and almost immediately after, this guy flies by me doing close to 100 in a flashy sports car. As I was quietly complaining about the cop not doing his job, he flies by me, lights and sirens going, and pulls sports car guy over. I hope I straight up willed that to happen. People who are absolute jerks to minimum wage workers, retail, servers, fast food, etc., then cry when they don't get their way, or better yet, get kicked out. That worker doesn't control the price or the inventory, or even the store policy. If you have a problem, ask for a manager like an adult instead of throwing a temper tantrum. As a minimum wage employee, the amount of times my black coworker has been called racial slurs for just doing his job makes me so sick. People who lose their minds over things that don't matter, for example when McDonald's runs out of sauce. Edit, let's be kinder to each other. Yep. What do they want the restaurant to do? Magically make the 80-60 items out of thin air? We're out. Go somewhere else if it's that important. Had a table flip out because we didn't have coleslaw in once. Like they didn't understand how we could keep the restaurant open without coleslaw available. Because we have 3 dozen other things on the menu. People who piss off the Queen's Guards and get hurt. I'm sorry, but how stupid do you have to be to mess with a soldier who is literally armed with a bayonet and has quick access to ammunition? Usually the guns aren't loaded, but on high alert periods of time, they are. Also, you know they aren't supposed to react, so stop pissing them off, you wankers. Those idiots who try to mess with the guards always go into victim mode when the inevitable happens. Brit here. I'll admit I do chuckle when I see the occasional video of a tourist fucking with the Queen's Guard. The look their face when they get yelled at and a gun pointed at them, priceless. People abusing others, especially children, in any way, physical and emotional. I entirely lack sympathy for people that abuse animals and kids or the elderly. In fact, those people actually inspire homicidal tendencies whenever I hear about their crap. People who do not use their blinker while driving. Why? You're too lazy to move your hand for a second? You expect everyone else on the road to read your mind? Amen, one of my biggest pet peeves on the road. As an addition, the people who turn and then start using their blinkers while already turning, kinda defeats the purpose. Especially when they totally ignore the fact that other people need this information, not just other cars. That guy waiting to cross the road, that oncoming bicycle, etc., just use your damned turn signal even if you think nobody is around to see it. People who abuse their kids/pets and then cry when they get taken away from them by CPS/animal control. People who die while doing dumb and preventable stuff, taking selfies in dangerous places, taunting wild animals then getting attacked, parkour/other stunts if they know full well it's beyond their skill, etc. Edit. Also, people who join MLMs and become broke. There's so much information on how dangerous and predatory these companies are. If you still wanna join, fine, that's on you then, but don't come crying to us when you lose all of your money, have medical issues, especially with ones like It Works. And do terror, lose your house and have thousands of dollars worth of unsold inventory because nobody else wanted it. Edit 2, with the parkour/stunts I don't mean trained professionals. I mean just regular people who do dumb dangerous stunts to impress their friends, liking jumping into the pool from your roof and then missing and breaking your neck, etc. With MLMs, I mean younger, sound-minded people who should know better and recognize obvious scams, not disabled or elderly people if that makes sense. Also, I feel bad for kids who are forced to use oils by their parents and get medical problems, but not the parents themselves when they refuse to get medical treatment for serious things.